Okay, everything looks like it's good. Not having any frame drops on the side. That's why I was like check real quick. Nope, we're good. So as the name implies, welcome to the one wild card of the playoffs, or anyone can win, and even a playoff points leader can decide to have a terrible race. Otherwise known as Talladega, where you could be last in there's 5 laps to go and somehow win the race. That's just how Talladega works. But as always, I'll be joined here in a little bit by Mr. Sammy, who decided he needed to go get water real quick. But while we're waiting for him to come back, I'd like to welcome in and thank our two NRA supporters, like always, Mr. James Mendez and Mr. Daniel McWirt. It'll be our. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to go interview real quick, it's up to you. Anyways, we'll wish them luck on their unpredictable race. While we're waiting, we'll go over our points, which we have about 10 drivers are still in our playoffs. We've had two that's dropped out. Each one is over Uruguay by 15 points. So Uruguay is not going to be here tonight.
That's gonna be
So
huge.
each one's more about 32 points over James Mendez. So we'll see how this points battle plays out over the next 3 races. Colin Teague and Tom Hawk, 55, 56 back. They're still within a good race if they can get a very good race in. And each one has a horrible race. They'd be right back in it. Landon Wild, 59 out, who's had a great regular season and not so great playoff season so far. Joni Hannon, 60 back, our pole sitter. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Joshua Franks, 75 back. Luca Mazzilli's 111 back. And Kyra Scott's 127 back. That's our 10 that still remains. We'll go over our lineup here in a sec. We're going to go ahead and pass it over to Mr. Sam real quick if he wants to say anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm pretty sure you've probably already talked about it already, but Talladega is breeding ground for chaos. That's what we're gonna see a lot tonight. We're gonna see a lot of people making 3, sometimes even 4 wide moves, especially with the package where everyone's gonna be dancing around the high lane. I definitely think that this race is going to be absolute chaos, and from what I just heard, Landon Miles said he's going to try to put on a show tonight, so keep an eye out for him.
We've seen a couple weeks ago that the aggressiveness went through the roof on the road course, especially. I would expect any different here tonight, especially with high draft. It's, I mean, you're just gonna see, where you're gonna see a train of a one line, or you're gonna see like 3, 4 wide.
It's going to be chaos.
And chaos is the name of Talladega, or one of its names.
One of many.
So, for our race picks, I think we might as well just put all names in a hat, and that'd be our pick, because I don't think we can do any better than that at this point.
Mm-mm.
You can already just pick a name out of the hat, and you probably have an equal chance as you would of picking a name just off the top of your head.
So, you can go ahead and make your pick first, Evil.
I said I might as well be better picking off out of a hat, but
All right.
let's see. I don't really see. I mean, I want to go with someone that I haven't really gone with before. I think I have a couple times, but I'll stick with this one. I'm gonna go Kyra Scott, and he's starting third. He's gonna have a great view of the front at the start. He's had a good renovation these past couple races. I mean, he missed the first couple races, and I think that's why he's behind the playoffs. But I still think he can find a win somewhere, and that might be tonight if he gets through the carnage.
Yeah, Kyler's a good pick. I definitely think that he's been overdue for a win this season, but hold on a minute. I'm putting everything into a random thing picker so I can have my winner be randomly selected. Let's look here. My pick to win tonight is, let me make sure there's no more gaps at the bottom. My pick to win tonight is the 69 of Gatlin Downey. Gatlin's had a strong season. He's been an underdog almost the entire season. And I definitely think that tonight being the night of the underdogs, you could definitely see Gatlin Downey end up in victory lane.
Another very strong pick. He had a top 5 run, if I'm not mistaken, at the road course a couple weeks ago. He's had a good resurgence in his racing season, and actually he could definitely be up front. And it doesn't even take to beat a leader in the last lap. You could be 5th, maybe even 6th, and still win if you get the right push. It's not uncommon to not be leading on the final lap.
I think the one thing you got to look for, though, is the fact that this is NASCAR Heat League racing. And I'm going to be honest here. I think the best place you can be coming to the final lap at a super speedway race is in P1. Because there's a lot of mistrust. I've won these races before, and there's a lot of mistrust going on behind you when you lead on the final lap. Everyone seems like they're too skittish and don't want to trust one another. And so that's what causes the guy in front to just be able to hold his line and hang on to the win. So I definitely look up that tonight as well.
A lot of mistrust, or you might get the one person behind you that has all the trust, but 2 people will still get beat out by a whole train.
We're not rolling. We could probably get an interview from one of our NRACE reporters.
That's up to them. One of them already declined.
This is going to be an interesting race.
See, it's 94 laps, halfway to start at lap 47. 2x tire wear, pace speed's going to be 60. Draft will be high now. It was normal originally. And there's a. Oh, I forgot to get to the lobbies. I forgot to mention one thing. We can go over the package. If no one's ever seen the package before, there's a little bit of explaining to do. So Talladega has like 3 distinct lines. You can maybe count it as 4, but we count it more as 3. There's obviously the bottom lane, the middle lane, and the top lane. Bottom lane, unless it's on a restart, there would usually on the package you cannot push. You have to just kind of like have like a little bit of a gap and just kind of ride around. 2 and 3, which is the middle and top lanes, you can push around the whole track. So I would not be surprised to see a train in the top lane at least once during this race. Now, there is an exception. Sorry. There's an exception to the pushing in the bottom lane. If they're 1 second back of the main pack, you can push in the bottom lane. So if there is a second pack forming way in the back and you see them pushing, that would be why.
And I think tonight, once again, you're going to be it's going to be all about what I've been preaching since the second half of the season started, is over-aggression in VNS. A lot of these guys just push, take. But I think what they need to learn, and that's why they're down here in VNS, is that they need to learn how to give and sometimes let the other guy by. Not every single lap is the last lap here. That's what I think some of these guys are down here to learn and understand so they can make it up to VRC with the big dogs.
Oh, what do you mean? Every lap's the last lap. You just subtract the number of laps from it. Right now we're lap 94 minus 93. But no, in seriousness, I do agree. The aggressiveness could be using a little tone down. I understand with maybe 5, 10 to go, even maybe 20 to go. Sure, you're trying to get to the front, but on lap 1, there's no real point. You ain't gaining anything. You can just lose everything right away. Let's quickly get to our race lineup. I slacked on that just a tiny bit. Like we mentioned, Johnny Hannon's going to be our pole sitter. I think it's his first pole of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it is.
I haven't. East won second. He's had many front row appearances. Kyler Scott third. Luca Mazzoli fourth. Landon Watterbach fifth. Brad Cole sixth. I think that's his best qualifying performance of the season as well. Patrick Garrett seventh. Christian Holder eighth in one of his rare starts of the season. David Hanks ninth. Landon Wild 10th. Gatlin Downey 11th. Tom Hawks 12th. Joshua Frank 13th. Justin Newman 14th. Daniel McGurk 15th. Kevin Yergwis was not here, so we're going to move everyone up one.
James Mendez 17th.
Colin Teague 16th. James Mendez 17th. Yeah, Colin Teague 16th. James Mendez 17th. Victor M.
Biko 18th. Victor.
I wasn't here how to say his last name. I got to look that up again.
Fisher Giannotti.
Okay. I don't know who. Let me see who's in the last real quick. Rockwaits, James Mendez. I think there's like 17 altogether then. Okay, so 17 altogether then. "17 trucks, and it's still gonna be all the carnage in the world."
Here we come to the restart zone. Green flags out. We're racing here at Talladega.
As Jonahan's going to get a decent jump, he's going to clear each one. It looks he might stay at the bottom lane here.
He's going to keep it down low and pull Kyler Scott through. Luca Mazzilli trying to commit to the back of Chad Eastman, but I think he's probably going to hop down in lane here. I forgot. It looks like Luca is going to hop down in line along with Chad Eastman.
And Tilly they don't. And you see one
and
truck
now you're
on the
jockeying
apron.
the
I guess
outside
he's
lane.
getting out of the
Not
way.
allowed to push on the bottom. Chad Eastman going all the way to the wall. He tried it, and Johanen's going to block him off heading into turn 3.
That's the good thing about the top and middle lane, though. They can push up there now.
You can't really push on the bottom. Now, as they come out of turn 4 and into the tri-oval, Johanen's got a commanding lead with help from Eastwan and Mazzilli behind him. Qualls, 4th truck on that outside lane.
Christian Holder in a 51 up there as well, one of his first starts of the season.
Getting really racy out of turn 2 right now, as they're 3 wide already. Downward fall.
3 wide, about first 7 single file.
Looks like Christian Holder actually trying to bail out of the lead group.
I think Christian Holder.
I definitely like the strategy that Christian Holder's employing here, where he just falls all the way to the back and just clings to the draft. There's even one that's further off the pack. Who is that? All the way in the back.
I'm not sure who
Justin
that
Newman.
is. Oh. Okay, Justin Newman's already lost the draft, but I think he has time to catch back up.
Christian Holder on the inside lane. He's not going to have any help down there. McGork on his outside. And they're going to train on past him. Patrick Garrett to the...
We have a couple people fighting for the middle lane. Looks like Joshua Franks and Kyra Scott getting into it.
Ooh. This is a little bit of a tidbit thanks to our friend Eddie Kalegi. This is Christian Holder's first plate start since last season, but he's won 3 plate races here in VNS before, including 2 at Talladega in OMA since 2018. So Christian Holder knows how to get it done here. at Talladega, so I definitely wouldn't expect to see this 51 hanging out in the back all night long.
He's employing the safe strategy, like we mentioned. He has nothing to gain since he's not in the playoffs, so he might as well not be up there right now.
As they got a whole little battle going on back here. Looks like we're trying to hop in line and help these guys. As a bottom lane starting to form up with Landon Lonbach and Landon Lyle. The Landons are tanning together on the bottom lane. Look at that.
Oh, a couple guys in the wall there.
A good shot to the back of Kyler Scott from the two of Joshua Franks as heading into 3 and 4.
Looks like Eastland's backing off a little bit. I don't know if he's going to try to get a run here or not. I don't think he's just going to pull back up to the bumper again.
As right now, it looks like everybody's really just keeping it calm up front. Not trying to make any moves as Kyler Scott's having to block the two of Franks a little bit into 1 and 2. I'm not sure why I don't know. Joshua Frank seems a little bit squirrely there. I think he might need to bail out a little bit until he can get a handle on his truck. And replacing his spot behind the 45 of Kyler Scott is the 02 of Colin Teague. As we got a little bit of shuffling going on as Brad Quall seems to be the odd man out in the Chevrolet freight train. As they're going to...
what just happened there?
Looks like Kyler Scott lag popped a little bit. Sent Colin Teague backwards.
Yeah, I saw someone direct sideways.
Good job by all those guys keeping it straight though, because I've been in that situation before and it is very difficult to hang on to a lag pop, especially when it happens to the guy in front of you.
And it's probably not even anyone's internet. The super speedways in this game are very twitchy.
As look who's just decided to get his nose inside the top. Is that James Mendez?
Yeah, who's going to be our new second place in points with Uruguay's not going to be here tonight. He's most likely going to be second in points, maybe even cut into Eastland's deficit.
Definitely. As it seems we've lost a little bit of lap count as they're getting racy up here.
They're on lap 9.
As we're now on lap 9 out of 94 here at Talladega. And seems to be the train race right now.
Oh, and Lyle getting squirrely.
But one thing you think you have to look out for here at Talladega is burning your fuel on being the lead truck. I think Chad Eastman's okay with riding behind Jonah Johanna because he knows that he's able to sit there and save a little bit of fuel. When Jonah's out front, he's burning the most fuel out of any guy on the track right now. And that means that eventually Jonah will have to be one of the first guys to pit. Now, if these guys behind him will follow, I don't know. I would assume they would just to kind of help him out a little bit. But anything can happen here as they keep rocking the high lane.
Very possible, or you could see a little bit later in the run that Jonah Johanna might move up the track to let someone else go if he wants to save fuel.
As I would like to say that the one who really bit the dust, the two that really bit the dust after getting that lag pop from Kyler Scott was Colin Teague and David Hanks, as they both ended up in this second pack with McGorrick, Garrett, and Holder. And so now it's a 5-truck pack, and since they're decent ways off the pack, they're allowed to wrap and push on the bottom lane. And who knows, they might catch these leaders who are all running the top, as we got a little bit of shuffling going on up front.
Yeah, they're definitely going to catch because they're running the short around the track, and plus they're going 2-3 wide now up here.
As here they come on the bottom. Oh, Here comes Landon Lyle with
Frank's
help from the 69 of Gatlin Downey. That's my pick for tonight is there. Side by side for the lead.
Frank's
Lyle trying to
decided instead of
pull back
side
the
drafting.
3 of Johanan. Tyler Scott's the odd man out 3 wide. Oh. A little bit of a lag pop there. We'll slow up Gatlin Downey a little bit. As now, looks like Johanan's going to be able to hold on to the lead.
Joshua Frank's all but behind him, though, and Frank's been very aggressive so far.
I definitely don't think being aggressive is early on is a strategy to employ here at Talladega, but if I'm Johanan, I think it'd be better to just let Joshua Franks go. Because I've been sitting here burning up my gas for the first 11 laps of this race. I think it'd be better for me to just let him go and let him sit there and burn his fuel up. But these are some of the first laps that Johanan's led all season. He's been so close this entire season. So hopefully tonight can be the night for Joe.
Be the best time to get his first win of the season too in the playoffs to get a lot of points from it.
Little tidbit on pack number 2. They have caught this lead group, and Daniel McGork is very close to latching onto the back of James Mendez and getting a huge toe and catching these top guys. As these 5 back here have been really good at working together. They all kind of understand what line McGork wants to run, and they're following him wherever he needs to go. As they're getting a little racing to turn 1. Now as they come out of turn 2 right now, Gatlin Downey leading the inside lane. And up goes McGork, and Teague follows. Now as they head down the backstretch into turn 3. Did Kyler Scott lag out of the race?
Oh, he did.
Kyler Scott,
right.
that's tough for Kyler. He was your pick to win, wasn't he, Evil?
Yeah, we're down to just yours now. Hopefully we can keep the streak going.
I swept the last 2 races I commentated. Now as they head down into turns 1 and 2, it's still been Johnny Johanan out front. He's had a very strong truck in the lead. As now, do you make adjustments when you come into this pit stop? Because I know what I normally do is I kick up my tire pressures and I put them all to 60. Just so that
yeah, that's gonna take a
space.
couple. It's gonna be take a couple pit stops to get them all up to 60. Because usually on like automatic cautions, you'd have a lot of time to do all the tire pressures. Manual, you have like 10 seconds less, maybe less, depending where you're pitted.
As Johanan's still been the commanding truck of the day. As Mendez on the outside lane. They're pushing on the inside lane. That is illegal by Joshua Franks. And he's just going to door James Mendez. As now they're bouncing around in the back. What is Joshua Franks doing? He's illegally pushing him too. Will that be a penalty for Joshua Franks? Because definitely some over-aggressive driving. That seems to be the theme of Franks' postseason, has been just over-aggressive driving for no good reason. Whatever strategy he's trying to employ just doesn't really seem like a smart one.
As the 13 of Brad Qualls is pitting by himself.
Brad Qualls dives down into the pits.
See if anyone's saved enough to make this where they can just do a splash and go on their second stop.
I don't know if the officials there. It looks like a lot of these guys pitting down the backstretch. A lot of them signaled, but I definitely think that the officials need to look at Joshua Franks illegally pushing. As it looks like a lot of these guys on the highway may want to pit here, but I don't know if they'll be able to get down in time.
Cue the carnage. We're going to see it happen right here.
Here they come into the pits. Oh, man, we got a lot of chaos into the pits.
They got there relatively clean, but then the game kind of took over, and that's when they get squared away. But
As the handful that stayed out was Iswan, Mazzilli, Hawk, and Mendez, all staying out.
not surprising for any of them. They were not leading
Not
their
at all.
respective packs. It's still a two-stop regardless, so for anyone that stayed out this extra lap or not. So this one will not be playing any fuel saving for this first half at least. As here comes the other 4 down pit road, we're going to see who came out the leader. Looks like the 2 of Frank's, maybe?
I'm switching over.
Actually, they're all kind of just there.
As it's really
it's
close
just all
out
in
of
there.
turn 2. They're
Now
all
there's
kind
3
of
wide.
each other.
4
As
wide
it
for a
looks
second.
like it's going to be McGorick with the lead here.
Maybe Colin Teague. I don't know.
If he can hop up in front of Franks here, he will. Looks like Daniel McGorick is going to be your leader here. As Christian Holder on that outside lane, we talked about him having the pace to get it done here at Talladega. Now he's dancing on the outside for the lead here. They come out of turn 4. 3 wide for the top spot. Oh! As looks a little bit of contact from Joshua Franks in the 69 of Gatlin Downey. As McGorick's going to hop in the high lane here. As it looks like Franks put.
Here comes Patrick Garrett as well in the top lane.
Patrick Garrett had a good run last week. As now Johnny Ohanen and the 2 of Franks are racing side by side. Once again, I don't understand what the point of this is. This is just the over-aggression I've been talking about all season long.
They might actually not get the lead. Mendez and Eastwan are...
As now, Eastwan and Mendez are the field out of turn 4. I gotta hop.
They're gonna get enough speed.
As Gatlin Downey to the outside lane. Gatlin Downey takes the lead away with a 3 wide move for the lead. What a move by Gatlin Downey. I was expecting a good run out of Gatlin because he was my pick to win, but holy mackerel, he's making crazy moves for the lead.
Pit stop's shaking up everything, but now Gatlin's going to go left outside. Here comes the guy that we should have known about, but we didn't until now. Mr. Christian Holder.
As now, Christian Holder on that 51. Showing a lot of pace tonight as he finds himself back up front. He was hanging out in the back with McGorick and company, and now he is up here racing for the lead as 3 wide for fifth, with Mazzilli, Teague, and Eastwan. They're going to get that sorted out, though.
You can see Landon Lauterbach's actually get out of the lead here. Oh, or he may not
tried to get there. He couldn't clear. Now he's the odd man out, 3 wide for the lead, and that's just going to help Holder clear with help from Landon Lyle. And now Mazzilli hopping up, and that's the 8-truck of Landon Launbach just going straight backwards. Oh, the record in the back.
The 20 of David Hanks around.
David Hanks spun. And he's going to collect.
That was...
Did he collect anyone else?
One.
Is that one truck?
That was only one.
Only one truck?
Wow. Stay green. As Landon Lyle's going to go to the lead.
Landon Lyle trying to go to the lead with help from the O2 of Colin Teague. Leaving Gatlin Downey's the odd man out. Does anyone want to go up there and help Gatlin Downey? No. Also, I would like to say Gatlin Downey's in an uncharacteristic blue Napa paint scheme this week as opposed to his normal red Ream one. So, some fresh paint on that 69 truck this week that we're not usually accustomed to seeing. As now they are riding in the bottom lane, question mark. But are they pushing?
Colin Teague's definitely not, and you can see the gap to the 51. Looks like they're relatively calm on the bottom.
tidbit here from our in-race reporters. Fuel will be an issue. These guys can't all make it on gas. That's why you see them all wrapping the bottom like this, because they're trying to run the shortest lane around here and save a little bit of gas. But I think I'm not sure if Colin Teague's ready to make a move on Lyndon Lyle yet, or if he's just sitting in line saving gas.
It's going to be close, because for 2 stops, they went about 16 green flag laps, 17. And they're going to have about they're on lap 22, so they're going to make it to about like 29:30 to probably make it up on one stop from there.
Oh, as now I think they are pushing up front. As when do guys behind these two, like Christian Holder and I can't see who that white truck behind him is. I'm trying to look here and see.
I think it's Luca Mazzilli.
It is Luca Mazzilli. I'm waiting. When do those guys make a move?
Pit stops jumbled everything.
That's the thing. As right now, I think Holder's just waiting to make the move for the lead. But another thing that's interesting to look out for here at these super speedway races is when they start saving fuel like this, you occasionally will see a couple of guys dive up to the outside lane like you see right there with McGorrick and Mendez, our 2 in-race reporters. You see them working together, but when they jump up to the outside lane like that and they just fly around all the guys that are sitting there saving fuel. I've done that myself a couple times. It is the most thrilling feeling in the world, just watching all those guys in the bottom lane defenseless and just watching you blow by on the outside.
This is the part where it's tick down laps like we mentioned, and that's kind of a good thing because they don't need to be aggressive right now. Sometimes you just gotta tick off laps, and that's just one of those part of the races right now. $24.47 on the board there, officially halfway through halfway. So to make that confusing as possible.
As they come out of turn 2 now. Once again, just the bottom lane trainer now is... I definitely think Christian Holder's just waiting to make the right move for the lead.
I think he's just gonna wait till pit stops, because I mean he knows he has to pit anyways.
They might not have to pit.
Oh no, they're gonna have to make 1 stop regardless. It's at least 1 more stop, maybe 2 if they can't save it.
So everybody's trying to make this on 1 more pit stop right now. As I definitely think the guys that can make this are your guys like Mazzilli and Mendez. Those 2, I'm guaranteeing that they can make it because they have their clutch pedal.
I wouldn't be surprised if Eastwan could make it too, because he stayed out that extra lap as well.
Eastwan might be okay. He's sitting a little better. He's sitting in around the same boat as Mendez. Who else pitted with him? It was like Mendez, Eastwan, and a handful of other trucks. All stayed out
4 of them. I think
and ran that extra lap.
And 1 other one. I think it might have been Colin Teague. I don't know though.
I think it might have been Teague, but so it looks like the only 2 from that group that we were able to stay with was Eastwan and Mendez, since they tandemed together out of the pits. So the best 2 guys in the field in this pack is James Mendez and Chad Eastwan. And I definitely think that those 2 are fuel mileage masters. As Mendez claimed a couple of fuel mileage wins here in VNS. One of them at my expense.
Well, here it's even easier because you can coast the truck. You're not even hitting the gas.
And if you remember from earlier on in the season, winner of this race, Landon Mile, was basically sputtering across the line. So fuel mileage is nothing new here at Talladega, especially in this game.
Well, if anyone has to pit for their third, as you see Joshua Franks coming off pit road, he'll have to make another stop more than likely. But if anyone can make it, or can't make it, they have to make it a two-stop. If you take just fuel only to make it, I think you don't go a lap down at the least.
I'm gonna hop up. As right now, just very calm, cool, collected racing. As right now, I'd say we could probably go with a new segment and go through the field, since there's nothing really to do right now besides them just riding in lane. As Landon Monbach making some moves on the outside. Let me hop up to our leader.
Yeah, they have to ride in line for right now, especially if they want to make it on fuel.
As I'll start off by talking about our first place truck, Landon Lyle. Landon Lyle, he was the man of the regular season. He and Chad Eastman were going toe to toe, duking it out every single week, and he had that suspension after the Charlotte Roval, kept him out at Las Vegas, but he's back in the truck this week and he's leading this race right now. Definitely needs to be leading these laps in order to try to kind of rebound from his points deficit from Uruguay's and Eastwan up front. So this is a well-needed point showing for Landon Lyle, and if he can hang on and win this halfway, that would be huge for him.
See, that'd be the thing with him leading this pack. I don't know if he's gonna have enough fuel to make it on one stop.
I don't, but someone who I think might have enough fuel is looking back at our second place truck now, so I'm kind of just going through the field, is Colin Teague. Colin Teague's been putting on a show all season long. He's probably one of the best guys to not have a win this season. He's been so close so many times, almost won Atlanta if he didn't get crossed over by Chad Eastwan on those fresher tires. And he's probably, I don't know if he's able to win the championship from how far back he is, but he's definitely put on a show this season, and he definitely deserves to win a race or two. So hopefully Colin Teague can get the ship righted and score a couple wins with only a handful of races left in the season.
And he's probably in the best spot to at least one of the stages, or at least this stage. He's saving a lot of fuel behind Landon Lyle right now.
Moving on to our third place truck now, we got the 51 of...
Lyle's pitting, it looks like.
Looks like Landon Lyle's coming in now. But as I was saying, the 51 of Christian Holder, he's the VNS Restrictor Plate Master with 2 wins at this very track since 2018. As does anyone else follow him in? Lyle pits by himself. That is not a good sign. But
I don't think he's going to get the stage, but he should be back in it for the second part.
But this 51 of Christian Holder, he's very good at these super speedway tracks, especially here in VNS, and I would definitely keep an eye on him tonight, as he's got no playoff point. He's got no playoffs to worry about. He's got no... Only thing he has to worry about tonight is going out there and winning the race. So keep an eye on this 51 Cessna Beechcraft Toyota Tundra.
I think the 51 might be going to the lead here in a sec. I look like Colin Teague signaled.
I'm trying to cycle through to our third place truck. Is he coming in?
Oh, they're both coming in.
They're both pitting. Well, this segues is a handful of trucks pit. Lonbach. I see my race pick of Gatlin Downey in that group. But the man I'm definitely keeping an eye out for is this 86 of Luca Mazzilli. He's my teammate up in VRC. And Luca's had a strong season down here in DNS and in VRC. Very strong at the draft tracks, and he had a pretty good outing at Sonoma last week in VRC. I don't believe he's in the playoffs here. He might be. I don't remember. But a strong day for Luca. If he can hold on, he might be able to go for the win if he's still here at the end of the day.
As looks like the 18's pitting, and so is the 86.
Patrick Garrett and I believe that's 83 in Magoric.
That's 86 McCourt, yeah.
As the 86 truck still out front as the 98 of Tom Hawk will go a lap down. Trying to find the next truck in this group so I can continue my little through the field. And we just talked about Landon Lyle not too long ago, and the next guy up is Chad Eastwan. This 23 truck, he has been, as it looks like Luke Mazzilli's pitting. I think Chad Eastwan's pitting as well. He tried to signal there. He got about as low as he could, but Mendez is going to pass him here. Chad Eastwan topping the line. I think all these lead trucks are pitting this time by, but Chad Eastwan, he's been the other guy to watch this season. It's been him and Landon Lyle all season long, as we look to see a strong pit entry there by Chad Eastwan. I
think Joni Hanna ran out of fuel there because he dropped way off the pace.
Oh, that's rough for Jonah. It's always something always happens to poor Jonah every single week. I feel really bad for him. He's another driver that probably should have a win this season. But just bad luck keeps plaguing him.
As I think the leader might be right now would be Patrick Garrett, if I'm not mistaken, if it cycles around correctly. We're going to see who comes out in front of who.
As Joshua Franks 2024. I don't know who the race leader is right now. It might be Joshua Franks.
Mazzilli's coming off right now. I think he might be the leader.
He will be. Luca Mazzilli will exit as your race leader.
If Franks get by them, I think it might be Franks because he's already pitted, but I don't know if he's going to get by him all the way.
I don't think he will. These three are going to have too much pace for Joshua Franks.
Oh, he's going to try.
3 and 4. He's going to try. Nope, never mind. I guess I was wrong.
And he will get it for now.
Now.
But he will have to pit again, but he is the leader right now.
These three trucks are probably in the best position out of anybody because they're a little ways away from the pack as Mendez trying to hop down to pass the 2 truck of Franks, and he's going to get shuffled 3 wide here. As Mazzilli's going to stay committed to pushing him now. Mendez trying to wrap that bottom lane and almost crowd Franks up as he's going to hit him a little. As Frank's actually a lap truck. Oh, and a good shot from the 51 of Christian Holder to the back of Mendez as now they might be 3 wide here soon. As Gatlin Downey with the run of a lifetime on the outside with help from Patrick Garrett. He's to the race lead now. As now Gatlin Downey's leading the race. He's got some pace in that 69 truck here tonight. As Joshua Frank just knocks Gatlin Downey out of the way. I don't know what Joshua Frank's been up to this postseason, but it has not been right.
I don't understand this either, because, I mean, everyone gets a lap back if you're a lap down. He's only 1 down, so I don't really understand this play at all.
He'll go 1 down if he lets him by, but I just don't understand. I just don't understand why he would do that. It's just really fishy what Joshua Franks is doing. But this isn't the first time we've seen him hold up a leader like this before. But he did it last week at Las Vegas, where he held up James Mendez and he held up Daniel Magoric. I don't understand what Joshua Franks is trying to do here, but it just seems really, really unintelligent of him to do. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm a commentator. As Kyler Scott backed out. Looks like Kyler Scott in the 45 actually left the race because he heard it was a fuel saver. and just park the truck. As now
I
Lincoln
mean,
Lyle starting in the bottom.
that's the thing, though, because I mean, it might not end up being a fuel save. You could get a caution in the middle of the run, and there you go. It's not a fuel saver anymore.
Exactly.
But I mean,
as they head down the front stretch, still a strong run for Luke Mazzilli. He's leading this outside lane. As look at Patrick Garrett running P3. This is a strong night for him in that 18 truck. We don't see him up here very much, but happy to see him running up here in P3 as they're running side by side here in the back as Gatlin Dowdy's going to jump to the inside of James Mendez. I think Mendez is falling back to pocket a little bit of fuel.
well, if they pitted with the last group that pitted, should be good. It's gonna be the one that pitted like 2 laps before, lap before, that'd be close. As a
As Mendez
little
gets
action
shuffled
going on.
again. A little bit of action, yeah. He's on looking through the field, see if there's any. We got 2 of the dark horse trucks working together here, 13. Actually, I think one of them is a dark horse truck and the other one is a. Why can't I not think of the team now? Is a Garcia Autosport truck, I think. But these 2 working together here, that is the 98 of Tom Hawk and the 13 of Brad Qualls. Trying to catch up to this lead group.
I believe they're coming to 6 to go. They're coming up 41, so yeah, it'd be 6 to go then. Because they start at 47 from that stage there. And so here in the next couple laps, I expect them to get a little more aggressive.
I do too. They got it outside lane rolling though. Now look at that, the 3 wide. Through the lonely 4th in the bottom lane. That is McGorrick and Mendez trying to work together here in the bottom lane and drag back that outside lane. A little bit of contact there with Chad Eastwan as Landon Lyle's going to get knocked out of groove a little bit there as they just commit to the high lane. And now
the big wild card in this first group is going to be the 18, because he has no extra manufacturer help.
Looks like the 2 trucks I'm definitely keeping an eye on is Daniel McGorrick and James Mendez. This strategy where they jump down to the bottom lane, drag back that outside, and then hop in line 1 truck at a time. Very reminiscent of what Justin Haley did at this very track back in 2020 in the fall, where he leapfrogged his way through on the outs from the bottom lane to the top lane, dragged back the guy, hop in line, and that's what ended up winning him the race. And now you start to see a gap.
See if anyone wants to go with them.
And now you're starting to see a gap start to form between Mendez and the 02 of Teague. And now Mendez picks up the throttle. They're going to get a good run down the backstretch. Here comes James Mendez with a huge run return to the lap truck up there. That's the 20 of David Hanks. That's just going to help these guys even more as they get their way into turn 3.
Oh, Landon Lyles with them.
Landon Lyles there to help. He's going with whatever lane's going to get. As now the 18 of Garrett stuck outside with the this whole just fell apart. McGorrick and Matt complete pass.
I think the 83 who had that lap.
At race control now to see what lap we are on.
It's 3 to
3 to go, and now they're trying to shuffle
go
again.
to the lead.
Gatlin Downey's there as well, and Landon Lundbach as now the 20 David Hanks is going to try to bail out of the pack. as they're getting really aggressive now. Landon Lyle trying to block aggressively. Luca Mazzilli trying to shuffle him on the bottom lane. As McGork's gonna door him down. Wow. Oh, and he hit Mendez. Mendez in the wall after contact with McGork. The tandem partners are gonna make a little bit of contact here as Mazzilli's gonna try to knock McGork out of line.
He's still in this, and if Eastmont doesn't get any points in this stage.
As now, here comes Luca Mazzilli with a run. Mazzilli's gonna get a good run down the back just as he hop down and get the run on Lyle. No, he doesn't. He's gonna stay in line for now.
He couldn't really hop down in that one.
Wide for a second there.
I think he wanted to, but he couldn't because of the lap truck there at that time. I think that was just going to be a bad time if he tried it.
As the two Fords are having a rough time, as now we're on the last lap of the halfway. Keep an eye on Luca Mazzilli. He's probably the man to watch here. 1 lap to go.
Eastmon's backing up.
Eastmon's backing up. Mazzilli's giving him a shot. Out of turn 2 now. Oh, David Haynes is going to put McGork in the wall. It's down the backstretch. Here comes Patrick Garrett with a run. He shuffled out Chad Eastwan. He didn't go with him. Into turn 3. Luca Mazzilli's starting to fall off a little bit here. Patrick Garrett's going to hop in line. He's going to try to jockey both the lanes, but Chad Eastwan's going to dance his way through. On the bottom lane, here comes Eastwan. Oh, Mazzilli almost got there. Here comes Patrick Garrett on the outside. He's got the momentum back across the start.
Is he going to get him?
Good run there for Garrett. Landon Lyle. Landon Lyle, Garrett.
I want to say Landon Waterbach was 5th. I don't know, though.
It was either, I think it might have been Londoc. Oh, it was their wrecking.
Let me watch my stream, see if I can tell this on who was where.
Great finish to the halfway. Halfway finish was 24, 18, 23, 02.
I want to say the 8 was 5th, but I can't guarantee it. I'm trying to watch my stream again real quick. Actually, it was Mazzilli.
Absolute chaos coming across the line for halfway here.
Try to get the best angle possible. Had the overview to see who the top 5 were. It's always so easy with that view. Especially when they're all 3 and 4 wide. Up as we're just watching the apparently the little oval part. It looks like Landon Lyle's going to come out first with Eastlawn, Patrick Garrett, Mazzilli, and Colin Teague, I believe, top 5. Let the fuel saving begin already.
As they're already doubling up here, is one thing I think you want to do under this caution is put it in 4th gear and use very minimal throttle input just to pocket a little bit of gas here.
Yeah, we know they go about like 17, 18 on a fuel run, and maybe 19, 20 if you can save it. Oh, 15 was a normal. So about 17 to 19 is the fuel run. That's if you're in the pack, you save automatically.
Landon Lonbach said the O2 is going to get in trouble. So it looks like we already got a little bit of beef going into this second half of the Talladega race.
Welcome to the stage. Patrick Garrett, a great finish for Toyotas. This one will get third and extend his points lead for the first stage. Colin Teague fourth and Luca Mazzoe fifth. Their first points getter. Great jump, and Mazzoe and Colin Teague didn't get going.
Inside lane push until
yeah.
Inside lane, and now you can and you start.
There then.
Patrick Garrett moves up there, but he didn't have the pace to jump Landon Lyle.
I don't think Patrick Garrett wants to lead because, I mean, you're just going to run out of fuel faster if you lead.
He'll let Lyle lead laps and burn his. He sits there and rides behind him and gets his pocket himself a little bit of fuel. As Joshua Frank's still fighting hard on the lane, but these top three are clear. As Mendez is gonna roll up to the back as he barges his way through there a little bit. We got the 51 in the wall. That is the O2 making a bit of contact here in the back as 51 Christian Holder starts falling back.
Holder might be saving his again.
For what? They're getting
5 to go, 44 to go when I get to line. And this most likely will be a 2-stop for most, maybe 3 if you can't save it.
If you don't make it in 2, though, you're definitely in trouble.
Yeah, 2 is going to have to be the way to win this race.
Hayden making moves back here. But my pick, Gatlin Downey's starting to lose the draft here a little bit.
Just like the first half, I wasn't expecting to see many.
Nice one in the wall there. As now he's fallen back. He'll be right there with Colin Teague, who backs up to pick him up a little bit. Chad Eastman all the way off the pack now. Oh, Jody O'Hagan in the grass.
Oh, a big save for him.
Come back up, but that's not done. You can see a
bit. Cool guys in the wall.
Oh, the jockey in the middle of the pack.
I will say, it was a good save from Jonah. That's probably going to end his night caution.
He just going to get the draft for this 51 Holder, and he's going to get that draft. There's and now David Hanks roll up to this lead group. Trying to see what white Toyota is in the back.
As Christian Holder in the 51, it's still just right biding his time in the back. I think he's
that's a strategy to.
He's gonna stop to the last pit stop, I'd imagine.
As Collins out of the
warnings came down from the officials. We had one for Colin Teague early 0-2. This one is for the 2 of Joshua Franks.
As they come out of turn 4, the only warnings we've got tonight out of the entire field. This has been a somewhat tame Talladega race, but it looks like the warnings for the field has been Joshua Franks. Not seeing any other real warnings.
Colin Teague had one bike lap 23, I believe.
Yeah, it was Colin Teague and Joshua Franks, only 2 warnings of the night.
Apparently, if you have a 2, if you have a 2 in your truck, that's not a good sign. But 0-2 in industry.
As right now, the man out front has been Landon Lyle, but he's sitting there burning up all his fuel, though. I don't know if that's a smart tactic to employ.
Yeah, if this was me up there, I would have pulled out a line as soon as I realized what was happening. I would have dropped to the back.
I probably
let someone else lead. Actually, apparently he heard us. Here he goes.
Almost as if he read our minds, but I don't think Patrick Garrett wants to lead. He's trying to back off and let Landon Lyle in.
You don't want to lead right now. You just save the fuel.
Trying to stack him up and let Landon Lyle in, but Mazzilli. Now they're 4 wide in the back. As here comes Mendez on the bottom lane because Mazzilli checked up the entire pack for Landon Lyle. And now they're going to be 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Mendez with the 3 wide move. He has no help behind him, though. He's got to hop in the lane.
I think he's.
But he's fighting it back. He's going back 3 wide. With help from Joshua Franks. They're 4 wide now.
I think you're 4 wide.
Trying to help the 2. Help the 23. This is going to end up in a wreck. If they don't wreck him, I'd be surprised.
I don't think they are, actually.
Wow.
They settled it down. Also, I have some bad news. Our picks out of the hat didn't work. The 69 DNF'd.
Oh.
So
that sucks.
Our losing streak will go another week.